Y'all feel like and I feel like I couldn't have that with a regular individual. So first of all, I'm Natelegé, if you didn't know, and I founded Hearts Converse in 2010 with the intention to create a positive space for young adults to discuss relationships, life, and culture. So we have the website, we have the video series, many of you have contributed to the site in the past, but I wanted to kind of bring those discussions to a face-to-face kind of interaction. And so this is what this is about today.
I think these type of events and discussions are so necessary, especially amongst our generation, amongst our, our demographic, our age group.
And tonight I love the conversation talking about relationships and culture because it showed how culturally diverse we are as a people.
Would you rather be single for the rest of your life or settle for the best that you can find? Why or why not? We can start first, Shalika.
I would rather be single because first of all, what's the best that you can? I'm kind of upset about that. What does that mean? And if there's somebody, if the best that you can find isn't the best for you, then why set yourself up to know that you've settled rather than I'm fabulous. So if I settle with me, then there's no way I'm not going to be satisfied because I know me. I know what I like. I would rather do that.
It's about the people that have the most longest standing relationships that transfer into marriages build concrete friendships. You dig what I'm saying? It's just trill talk though, you know what I mean? And it's like, you go through the first stage, it's like, okay, we hang out, we have fun together, the sex is good, etc., etc. After all of the smoke is clear, what kind of significance still exists between you and this woman? That's what's gonna determine though if we can take it to that next level, if we'll end up, putting another 10, 20 years in.
Like, this event was very, very much needed. It was great discussions about a wide variety of things. It wasn't just about relationships, it was about, pop culture, our culture, where we come from.
Very empowering for African American professionals, up and coming professionals, to be able to come together and have these discussions.
And since all three of you are young African American men, have you ever felt you had to compromise your culture, yourself as a black man, to fit into mainstream society?
I was on a baseball team, surrounded by white boys, playing country music, some of whom did not like me at all. Raised in a football town, just because I was raised around so many different cultures. My black culture wasn't the same as everybody else's. So I never really had to compromise.
Okay, well, the question I had was, because I keep hearing the term code switching, so I was wondering, is it that y'all trying to say that y'all try to distance yourselves from things that are like more black-centered, or like what do you...
No, I mean, I started talking like this.
Yeah.
I'm so serious. My voice changes. And what happens? I'm fucking around right now, but code switching is like a coworker turned to me the other day and was like, "What's Motown?" You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? And usually when I speak to him in a very professional voice, and I was like, you don't know fucking You don't know the Jackson 5? You know Michael Jackson, right? I was like, you was in a fucking band. You know the Temptations. I fucking bugged out because it's like, why don't you? And the thing is, it's like for some reason, our history is somehow separated when it's the same. It's influenced this culture the same way.
Tonight's event was really amazing. It's always great to just connect with some of your colleagues and just get a fresh perspective on today's hot topics.
As you said, it was just a phenomenal event. Being around so many like-minded individuals that are just able to discuss what is really, going on with us, and just getting the feedback from everyone and kind of knowing that we're all in this together is absolutely amazing.
We have Beyonce, Jay-Z, Oprah, Bell Mamas. People
Yes,
have broke through. They have broke the ceiling in some ways. So with Black people who have gotten through, do we still need Black institutions such as Black church, Black media, Black colleges?
I think it's very important to still have ethnic specific institutions, but I also think it's important for Black people, people of color, to infiltrate majority culture and not just stay in specific areas. So
because I had the honor of actually attending several graduations at Morgan, Morehouse, Spelman, and Clark Atlanta. And one thing that I got from each of those graduations were that they infused culture and tradition into those graduations. And it made me kind of a little resentful that where I went to school at, because I was like, damn, I want a graduation that like talks about culture and history.
I'm all for the Black institutions. I'm all for, myself, I work in PR. I work at a predominantly white major agency. But personally, I think that I love Essence, I love Ebony, but are we segregating ourselves?
Well, same thing as when it's
I'm asking the question, especially being in media, I see it all the time. Let's say, I'm not gonna say the editor's name, but I would go out to Ebony with the expert that I feel would be great for, for a segment or for an article, but they would turn it down just because of the fact they're not African American. So do you think that we are segregating ourselves with, not with the institutions, but within the media?
I have a question for your question. When you said that they turn it down, are you talking about the media, the white media companies is turning it down to African American, or the African American turning down the
African Americans turning down,
Well,
my client isn't even white; he's actually Indian. But you know what I mean? Like, do you feel that we are segregating ourselves with?
Wow.
Okay, I want to hear you because you work in details, so I want to hear your opinion.
Yeah, that I disagree, because looking at details, I've learned I struggle every day to even bring up conversations or issues that I think affect Black people, and they don't want to hear it at all. They don't. The other day I was talking to the grooming editor. He's doing a piece on hair and things you need for like your medicine cabinet,
like wax and stuff.
Whatever, but he's like, men don't use hairbrushes. Men only use combs. I'm like, what? Rolodex of Black people who use hairbrushes. He's like, yeah, but I'm just talking about the majority. Like what? And it's little issues like that. Even I remember interning at NPR, and we were planning South by Southwest, and this was around the time that Frank Ocean was getting big. And I'm like, yo, I'm pitching Frank Ocean. And they're like, yeah, no one wants to really hear that hip hop, rough stuff. And I'm like, Frank Ocean? But because he was African American, the older editors didn't even want to hear about it. What's the guy who used to host the Soul Train? Around the time he died as well. And we were putting a story up, as NPR, talking about it. And the older editor who they had doing the story had a picture of Smokey Robinson.
all the time.
And I love Vibe for the sole fact that they stick to us. It's who we are.
Right, but like you're saying, it's a lack of knowledge, but are we separating ourselves?
No.
Because
I think we need to.
We need to.
I'm not saying that I think I'm asking the question.
Okay.
I'm gonna say this, just because Black media is my passion. This is why I started Converse, because I felt like I didn't do this shit. The thing is, it doesn't say Black publication for young Black adults, but in the back of my mind, that's who I was thinking about. Because you know what, I'm tired of seeing the same. When you look on the TV and you see young 20-year-olds that are African American, Latino, we're on Love and Hip Hop. we're doing crazy shit on TV. And I'm like, where are the people like this that I don't see? Where are they at? Am I gonna wait on them to do it? Because they're never gonna do it. And I know my history, and history shows me from the beginning of time when they started Ebony, when they started Essence. That's why they started it, because they weren't showing us. And so we had to separate, because we had no choice. And as far as I know, I'd rather separate. Because I know I'd rather read and I'd rather see people that look like me who are gonna do it right, and not just put me out there as a token. Like, well, I'm doing it because people are complaining. Not because I genuinely from my heart feel like these people need a voice. I'd rather just have my own people tell my story at the end of the day. And there's nothing wrong with us being in GQ. I like seeing us in GQ. I like seeing us in, Vogue. I love seeing it. I'm not gonna lie. I love seeing us on the Oscars with Peter winning.
But that's a black person.
But at the end of the day, I would never rule out my people and my culture, because at the end of the day, we need to keep pushing ourselves.
I feel like today's event was awesome because it gave us the opportunity to talk about things that we might normally discuss like on a smaller basis, like with our friends, and to be able to talk about it in a larger group.
Definitely a dope discussion about everything under the sun. Love, being black in America, and that's definitely something insightful.
It was a great event. I heard great things. I said some things.